Welcome to you all in this morning class, online class. My dear student, today our topic is Delhi Sultanate. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Okay. Now, first of all, we have to know about Delhi Sultanate. What is the meaning of Sultanate? Actually, Sultanate was the kingdom of Sultan, right? It was the kingdom of Sultan. Sultan were the ruler under Sultanate kingdom. Sultan were the rulers. Actually, what happened when Muhammad Ghori got defeat by Prithviraj Chauhan in the first battle of Tarain, he fled away to his own country, but next year he came with full might and began to attack. He fought against Prithviraj Chauhan in the second battle of Tarain in 1192, and after that the series of new rulers began in India, and that kingdom was known as Sultanate. It is why the ruler of Sultanate were called Sultan. But before knowing about him, about these facts, we have to learn what was the political condition of India before the emergence of Delhi Sultanate. Is it clear? Actually, India was divided into many small and large kingdoms because there was no very strong ruler who could consolidate his kingdom in whole India. It is why smaller kingdoms emerged and their rulers began to fight against each other to extend their boundaries or to conquer each other areas. Consequently, there was no unity among them. So there was the lack of political unity, right, in India. And you know, where there is disunity, there is chances of exploitation or attack of foreigners. In the meantime, Muhammad Ghori, who was the ruler of Ghor in Afghanistan area, he attacked India and conquered Punjab, Sindh and some other places. He got success in this regard. It is why this success became the stimulus for him, encouraged him to attack again, to conquer more and more area in India. In that time, he wanted to attack Delhi, where Prithviraj Chauhan was ruling the country. Prithviraj Chauhan was a Rajput ruler, very brave warrior. He had to fight war against Muhammad Ghori in 1191. In the battlefield of Tarain, since two battles were fought, it is where it is divided into two battles, first battle and second battle, and both the battles were fought between the same enemies, same rulers, counterparts of the rulers. First battle of Tarain was fought in 1191 between Prithviraj Chauhan and Muhammad Ghori, in which Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Ghori, right? He fled away from the battlefield And in second battle, again he came in 1192 and fought against Prithviraj Chauhan. Prithviraj Chauhan fought bravely with the help of some Rajput rulers and other Indian rulers. But there were some rulers like Jaichand who supported Muhammad Ghori, and it became the cause of the defeat of Prithviraj Chauhan in the battlefield. Later on, his area, Ajmer and Delhi, was captured and Prithviraj Chauhan was killed. After getting victory over these areas, Muhammad Ghori wanted to return their state, his own kingdom, but there was need to hand over the charge of administration of these conquered areas. He distributed this right among four of his commanders. Indian side area, Delhi side areas were given to his slave and commander of his army, Qutubuddin Aibak, because he was very faithful to him. No doubt he was a slave. As you know, slave means a person who is the personal, who does the work as the personal servant, I mean as the servant of the master, right? Such servants were not given payment or salary. They were given the facilities to live under him, like food, shelter, clothes, etc., no salary, and he was not permitted to work anywhere without the permission of his master. Actually, this type of person was a captive of a person, जिसे आप गुलाम कहते हो. No? But later on what happened, by the dint of his hard labor, he got some post in the administration. Later on, due to his efficiency and faithfulness, he got the favor of Muhammad Ghori and he was appointed as the commander of his army. Later on, Qutubuddin Aibak made him, Muhammad Ghori made Qutubuddin Aibak his son-in-law. Due to all these causes, Qutubuddin Aibak was very close to Muhammad Ghori. That is why he handed over the charge of this area to Qutubuddin Aibak. He was made the in charge of this area, deputy of this area. Okay? You will expand your scene when you will upload this PPT on your mobile or device. You will expand it and you will see all these pictures. This is the most important monuments of Sultanate period. Now this is what you know. This is Qutub Minar that was built by Qutubuddin Aibak. Now next you see, actually when Qutubuddin became the ruler, when he became the in charge or deputy, he was appointed by Muhammad Ghori. But what happened when Muhammad Ghori returned in 1206 to his own state, Ghor, just in the fourth year after returning here, he died. I mean in 1210 Muhammad Ghori died, and since the day Qutubuddin declared himself as the ruler of Delhi, right? And he set up his own kingdom. After that, his successor became his son or his relatives, not son, his relative became the ruler, and this dynasty, As you know, dynasty means the rule of the kings of the same family members. In this way, this dynasty, which was set up by Qutbuddin Aibak, was called slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty. Why was it called a slave dynasty? This type of question comes. Why the dynasty set up? Why was the dynasty set up by Qutbuddin Aibak called slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty? The best answer of this question is it was called the slave dynasty because its founder and most of its ruler were either the slave or the children of slaves. It is why this dynasty was known as slave dynasty. Right? It was known as slave dynasty. Are you listening to me? Are you listening? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Is it clear? Concept is clear? Very good. Very slowly I am teaching you. Listen. And if you will have the problem in the last 10 minutes, you will be allowed to say. Now next is, it is called Mamluk dynasty because Mamluk means slave. So it is clear why is it called a slave dynasty. It is called slave dynasty because the founder of this dynasty along with other successors were the slave or the children of slave. It is why this dynasty is called slave dynasty. It is called also the Mamluk dynasty because the term Mamluk means slave. Now here you see these are the 4-5 important rulers, sultan of the kingdom. One is Qutbuddin Aibak. After that, Shamsuddin Iltutmish became the ruler. After that, his son became the ruler, but just after 7 months he was killed, and the daughter of Iltutmish, Razia Sultan, was declared the ruler of Delhi Sultanate under slave dynasty. She is called the first and last Muslim woman ruler, lady ruler. Now next is here Balban. After that Nasruddin Mahmud. So in this way these were the rulers under slave dynasty. Now next you are going to learn about the next ruler. Here you know कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक पहले जानते हैं हम लोग कि नो डाउट कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक was the founder of slave dynasty. Now you are going to know about his achievements. What did he do in his regime during the period of his rule? Right? Whenever you listen the word one term, now here Qutub Minar, generally you want to know who was the person that built it. Now nowadays it is also situated in Delhi. This Qutub Minar was set up by Qutbuddin Aibak in his regime. Now what was his action taken by him during his power? He first of all defeated Yaldauz, who was the ruler of Ghazni, and freed Punjab from him. Right? Punjab was also under control of Yaldauz. Since Qutbuddin wanted to get more and more territories in India under his control, so he had to struggle against Yaldauz, and he was defeated. Yaldauz was defeated and his area under control, Punjab, was taken from him and annexed into his own kingdom, own area. Here, annex term means to make a part, with existing areas. Now, next, he was a great patron of literature, art, and architecture. So many times I have explained the meaning of patron. Here, patron means a person who gives full support and take care of art, literature, architecture, learning by giving all types of support, right? Money, material, security, safety, encouragement, right? So many things. So he was a patron. It is why in his regime, art, literature, and architecture developed on large scale. He is famous for building Qutub Minar and Quat ul Islam Mosque, right? Quat ul Islam Mosque, मस्जिद जिसको हम बोलते हैं. Okay, so in this way where the Muslim devotees pray namaz. So in this way Qutub Minar and Qatul Islam were built. He also built mosque that is called Dhai Din Ka Jhopra. It is not in Delhi but in Ajmer, whereas Qutub Minar and Qatul Islam mosques are in Delhi. So two important questions arise here. Now this type of question is generally set in examination and even competitive examination, in your class examination. Who built Qutub Minar and Qatul Islam? Where is Qutub Minar or Qatul Islam mosque? What is famous building in Ajmer that was built by Qutubuddin Aibak? So naturally you will say Dhai Din Ka Jhopra. Next is, since he was a great patron of art and literature, so there were many scholars and learned in his regime. Here two were very famous. They were the literary gems. Here gems means precious stones, right? Gems means precious stones. Here precious stone here means very important personality, literary figure. They were Hassan, not Hassam. I have written here by mistake. It should be N and has printed M. Hassan Azmi and Mubarak Shah. So one important question is raised here. He named the two literary figures or important literary gems of Qutubuddin Aibak court. We will have to write the name of Hassan Azmi and Mubarak Shah. Qutubuddin Aibak died in 1210 CE. Here I am sorry, because the death year is perhaps misprinted. Okay, actually he was died in Qutubuddin. Yes, I am sorry. Qutubuddin died, it is correct, because I thought that it is related with Muhammad Ghori, but he was died in 2006. Qutubuddin Aibak died in 1210. Okay, and after that his son Aram Shah was rejected. Now, why? Because as you know his name is Aram Shah. समझते होगे तुम लोग. He was always in relaxing mood. He did not bother to work as the ruler, whatever. But I am making a fun. Actually, he was inefficient. He was unable to rule. It is why he was rejected by the nobles. and on his place his son-in-law Iltutmish was made Sultan, was declared Sultan. Okay, his son-in-law Iltutmish became Sultan. He founded the slave dynasty that was a very strong kingdom. So in this way, this is the fact related to Kutubuddin Aibak. Okay. Now next slide is about Iltutmish. Now, Iltutmish was the second important ruler of slave dynasty under Delhi Sultanate. Right here you see the photographs of Iltutmish. Right, he was the son-in-law and of Kutubuddin Aibak and second important ruler of slave dynasty under Sultanate, Delhi Sultanate. What work was done by him? Here it is written and you should learn. Actually his most important and first work was the capital, to declare Delhi his capital. Right? To declare Delhi his capital. Okay. So capital was declared, Delhi was declared as the capital of slave dynasty. Since he was replaced, he was made the ruler by replacing Aram Shah, so many nobles supporter of the previous ruler was a very tough, creating tough problems for Iltutmish, and other nobles were also disliking him. There was confrontation with them. Iltutmish had to solve first of all these problems, so he confronted with problems very easily, right? Very easily. And yes, okay. Are you listening to me? Hello, are you listening to me? Okay, okay, okay. Is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? I am trying my best. Is it coming? No. Is it coming? Okay. Le- is it? Hello. Is it coming? Are you listening me? Are you listening me? Hello. No, your voice is not coming. Okay, okay. I'm trying my. Your voice is not coming. Your voice is not coming. Okay, I'm trying my best. Your voice is not coming. Okay, okay, okay. Your voice is not coming. Not coming. Is it coming? I am trying my best.